Now you storming out my house in the middle of the night. I'm trying to
Hey y'all, it's Nat, back with another story time. I'm going to start a new series. It is the Horrible Babydaddy series. Please like, subscribe, and share my video. It will help me so much. And also, please turn on your post notifications to be notified when I upload a new video. So I'm going to start off by telling how me and my baby daddy met. So, me and my friend T, that's what I'm going to call her. Me and her, we had went out to a club, and she met his friend. So after they had been talking a little bit, his friend told my baby daddy that I was cute. So that's how me and my baby daddy started talking through his friend. And so me and my baby daddy, we was talking on the phone, and then we eventually met. At the time, he did not have a car, and he was living from house to house. Red flag. And he also had a child already. And at that time, I was 18 or 19. I believe I was 18 when I met him. And so we're dating. We're going out. I would have to pick him up, and we would go out on dates. And about 10 months after us dating, I became pregnant. Well, the first time, it was about 9 months after we started dating, I became pregnant. I had a miscarriage with that child. And then I was pregnant the next month. So the pregnancy was fine. I did learn that he was seeing another female, and she did get pregnant. I think she got pregnant the month I gave birth, I believe, because her son and my son are like 9 months apart. And so this particular time, he had picked me up, and he brought me to the east side of Detroit. And I believe that the girl that he later got pregnant with, the month that my son was born, she was at his grandma's house. So he took me to get some food and dropped me off at my aunt's house. So he picked me up later on, and I found out later on that she had a baby the month that I gave birth. They're like 9 months apart, my son and her son. So that's just a backstory of how we met, and a little something that happened after we were dating. So the main thing that I want to talk about is my son. So I was having problems with my son. He had problems in school. It was, he wasn't listening. He wasn't learning like he was supposed to. It was like he had ADHD. It was very hard for him to learn. So he had problems in school. He had behavior problems at home. And to be honest, I do take responsibility for some of that. I do. And so I was having a hard time with him. And so only thing that I wanted his dad to do was be in his life. I want him, to come get him on weekends, spend time with him and help me as being a father to your child. that's what I wanted him to do. And that wasn't the case. He saw him when he felt like it, which wasn't much. I put him on child support. I think my son was maybe like 6 months because he wasn't giving me money consistently. So I did put him on child support, and he was paying for a little while. It wasn't much because he had another child. It wasn't much. He wasn't making a whole lot. So it wasn't much that I was getting. And then once he quit the school system or got fired, whatever, I wasn't receiving anything. He started driving a cab, which you can't get child support from that because they make cash. So it was really hard because I wasn't receiving child support. So then I was getting real frustrated. He wasn't helping with being in his life, helping me take care of him, being a father to him. And when my son turned, he was 8, he was going on 9 that year, an incident happened. And so his grandmother, his dad's mother, came and picked my son up. And then, so my son was at her house for a little while. And she was saying that my son could live with her. And I probably should have just let my son live with her, at least for a little while. But I decided that he should go live with his dad. I wanted his dad to be in his life full time. I wanted his dad to be a dad. On my part, that was a bad decision because his dad didn't know how to be a dad. He really didn't want to be a dad. In my opinion, I can't 100% say, but his actions, he really didn't want to be a dad. And at this time, he had his younger brother, which is the son that was born 9 months after my son. So he went to go live with his dad, and I thought things were going to be better for my son, but it wasn't. He was really putting his hands on my son. He just wasn't a good father. You know how a man is supposed to teach his son right from wrong, how to be a man. That didn't happen. To be honest, I think I would have did a better job just by myself without his help at all. So I do have a lot of guilt and regret because it did affect my son in not a good way. My son is very angry now. It's just all that his dad took him through. It wasn't a good look for my son. He wasn't taught what he needed to be taught. And when my son came to visit me, it wasn't enough time to get him back on the right track and for him to stay on the right track, because it just wasn't enough time, because his dad had different rules than me. His dad really didn't care like what he did, or the movies that he watched, the video games that he played, spending the night at people's house that he didn't even really know, things like that. So when my son was with me in the summer, Christmas vacation, um, I tried to reprogram him from all of the things that his dad, let him do. Um, it was hard to get him to follow my rules, and it was just hard because he rebelled against me. Um, Probably because I sent him to live with his dad. But I later on tried to explain to him that I was trying to have his dad to be in his life full time because he wasn't. I was trying to have him to have a male figure, which is his dad, in his life. And those things didn't work out in my son's favor or my favor. And his dad did actually have custody of him. And when I tried to get custody back, Detroit justice system, they failed my son, they failed me. There was a time that we went to court, which I didn't even know until we went to court. My son said that his dad had stumped him. And I was blown away. And I wish my son would have had told me before court, and I would have been prepared for that, because he had told the little boy that lived downstairs from me, he had told him about it. So I would have asked his mother to bring him to court, and so the little boy could tell the judge about it. But the issue was it was like the judge, it was like she believed that his dad stumped him, but she didn't think that was a reason to remove him from his dad. Now, if it was me that stumped him, then I would have been in jail and they would have took all my rights away. But I don't know what that judge was thinking. I think I went at least 2 or 3 times to court trying to get custody back for my son. But basically they were saying like there was no reason for my son to come live with me, which him stomping me, that sounds like a good reason to me. I don't know about anybody else, but it sounds like a good reason to me. And my son, his whole attitude changed. It was like night and day from when he went to go live with his father until after. To be honest, going to live with his father made the situation worse. The outcome for my son was worse. And my son even told me that a teacher had noticed some bruises from his dad. Why didn't she call, I don't know what it's called in Indiana, because that's where they live, Child Protective Services. I don't know why she didn't call Child Protective Services, or even if she would have got in contact with me. So, and I did call my son every week. I tried to call my son every week. Sometimes his dad would say, he's outside, he used to give me excuses because he didn't want me to know what was going on in the household. And I did later find out that sometimes they didn't have anything to eat. So that really threw off my son's eating habits. He had terrible eating habits. He would go hours and hours without eating, I guess because he had to sometimes to go hours without eating, which I didn't know for a long time. So his dad tried to blame that on me, saying that I was getting food stamps for my son, which I only got them when he was with me. When he was with me, I didn't get food stamps. So it was a lot of lies that his dad told him, which is my son, that turned my son against me. And that's what his dad wanted to do. I never talked, when my son lived with me, I never talked bad about his dad. You know, I, of course, talked to other people, but not in front of him. You know, the things that his dad was not doing. And yeah, and that's another thing that really hurt me. And the only reason why his dad talking negatively about me to my son hurt me is because my son took a negative attitude towards me, and he didn't want to do what I say and things like that. So that's what hurt me the most, that his dad talked about me. He lied about me mostly. That's what I will say. He lied a lot about me. And so my son took that as the truth, and so that it just made it a bad situation. But I'm going to end the video right here. I thank you for watching my video. I just ask that you continue to support me, which just subscribing and watching my videos. It will help me out a lot. And I love you and thank you for watching. Bye.
Now you storming out my house in the middle of the night. I'm trying to